All right, guys, welcome to Dodger Stadium for Tuesday Night Baseball on Spectrum Sportsnet LA, brought to you by El Pollo Loco. The Dodgers and Mets ready to play Game 2. We're glad you're with us. Welcome inside. Joe Davis with Or Hershiser. Alana Rizzo joins us in a moment. The Dodgers dropping the opener of this series, and the stop on top of the division alone was pretty short-lived for the time being.
You know, they missed an opportunity last night. You had a Jacob deGrom start where they could have came away with a W. That's an opportunity that you cannot let slip away the rest of the time down the stretch.
Let's go down to the field now, brought to you by El Pollo Loco. Here's Alana.
All right, Joe, thanks very much. Well, after his altercation with Nick Hundley of the San Francisco Giants on August 14th, Major League Baseball suspended right fielder Yasiel Puig for 2 days. Yasiel Puig appealed the suspension, and finally today Major League Baseball announcing that they have upheld the suspension. He will start his 2-game suspension tonight against these New York Mets.
All right, Alana, as far as pitching goes for the Dodgers tonight, it'll be Rich Hill, who's been really good the last couple months.
He really has. You know, had a little rough spot in his last outing, just 1 home run to Peralta. But when you think about Rich Hill right now, since the finger has gotten a lot better and the blisters behind him, he is spinning the ball exceptionally well. He is locating the fastball a lot better. And you know he's confident in his stuff because of all the different arm angles that he'll use attacking the hitters.
So Rich Hill for the Dodgers, Jason Vargas for the Mets, who has the worst earned run average in the National League, but has been a whole lot better in his last few starts. Dodgers and Mets, Game 2 from Dodger Stadium, coming right up. Loco's new $5 craveable combos served with chips and a drink today. David Freese will make his second start in a Dodger uniform tonight at first base on an overcast evening in Los Angeles with the coolest game time temperature we've seen in a long time. 68 degrees right now as the Dodgers and Mets get ready to play game 2. Starting to feel a little bit more like October as far as this weather. Here's the Mets lineup for game 2. Ahmed Rosario to lead things off, and then it'll be Austin Jackson, followed by Wilmer Flores. Michael Conforto is in left field hitting cleanup with the veterans Frazier and Bruce behind him. Plawecki doing the catching, and last night's hero Brandon Nimmo in right field hitting 8th. Against 38-year-old Rich Hill out of Milton, Massachusetts, and like you talked about off of the top, he's been a totally different guy since the blister healed up, and he's gotten a good run going since the start of June.
Combination of both the fastball and the curveball have gotten better as far as effectiveness and location. Rich Hill had a 4-game personal win streak broke in his last start against Arizona, but I do not expect him to all of a sudden spiral down. His side work was really good, and he's very confident coming into this start.
That was on Thursday, the series opener against the D-backs. He started it with 4 shutout innings, but then gave up that 3-run home run to David Peralta. And that has been the thing with Rich. If he keeps the ball in the ballpark, he's pretty much unbeatable. And 9 of the last 11 runs that he's allowed have come off of homers. Off we go with ball 1 on Rosario. In fact, Hill gives up a larger chunk of his runs off of homers than any other pitcher in baseball. He falls behind here 2-0.
When the average fastball is below 90 miles an hour, some hitters maybe later in the game, second time around, start to just look for one pitch or the other. It's not like all of a sudden he starts at 94 and gets tired. It's just he's right around 88 to 90 miles an hour most of the time.
On a 3-1 pitch, Rosario takes ball 4 on a leadoff walk. Closed captioning tonight brought to you by the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California. For tips and rebates, visit bewaterwise.com. Here's Austin Jackson for a Mets team that is 18-12 in its last 30 games. Very quietly, one of the top 5 teams in the National League over the last month. Somewhat corresponds with their acquisition of this guy, Jackson. Started the season with the Giants. In fact, started the season at Dodger Stadium. The very first batter singled into center against Clayton Kershaw. Now the first one from Hill. That's a curve for a strike.
You mentioned the Rich Hill problems with the home run. That's where he gives up most of his runs, but it's not in the first 2 innings. It's after the second inning is when the home runs start to come. He's in the top 5 in the National League in fly ball to home run ratio in the first 2 innings. So he gets off to a good start avoiding the long ball. It's just later in the game when all of a sudden they creep up.
After walking Rosario, he's ahead of Jackson 0-2.
Remember last year how many trouble he had in the first inning?
Yeah.
He's like flipped the equation. He gets off to really hot starts since the finger's been good, and then a little later they seem to catch up to him a little bit.
Altered his pregame routine coming into the year. Started his warm-ups a few minutes earlier. Threw about a dozen fewer pitches. He's a guy that just loves to throw. That's part of what has made the blister issues hard, is that he is always throwing. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Rick Honey tried to cut down on the workload of how many pitches he throws to get ready, and also give him a little more rest after he says he's ready. Almost like he's sitting there waiting for the offense to get through their half inning so he can get his heart rate down to a normal level. He kind of goes huffing and puffing out of the bullpen in the past.
Ground ball is short. Jackson can really run, so they'll have to hurry, and Dozier won't even try it. The throw kind of tying him up. Jackson aboard on a fielder's choice. One gone. No score first inning, and here's Wilmer Flores. Well, even with the 4-2 defeat last night, the Dodgers winners of 8 of 10. They'd fallen 4.5 back in the division. They opened the night a half game back of Colorado. And the Rockies, meanwhile, tied at 1 with the Giants. Middle innings in Denver. 0-1 on Flores.
A loss this time of year stings, but it stings a little bit more when you had a chance to beat Jacob deGrom. deGrom pitched well, drove in a run for the Mets, but it's almost like you had a shot to birdie the toughest hole on the course. And you missed your chance, you know, you lipped out on a 3-footer.
Because on paper, that's a game that you don't expect to win against a guy that leads baseball in many categories. This is one that on paper, if you can handpick one out of the 3 in the series, you would expect to win. This would be the one when you're looking at the starting pitching matchup. Rosario off of first. He'll pay a lot of, or Jackson off of first, and he'll pay a lot of attention to him. Here he comes, and Flores takes ball 2. Breaking ball, foul tip, 2-2.
When he lands his curveball for a strike to right-handers, all of a sudden, when they see spin, they've got to think, okay, that one might go straight down, and if it goes a little bit more sideways, it's going to be a back footer, but you can't really realize that. You see spin, you see it the correct height, but you don't know how far it's going to break or where it's going to end up.
Chop foul.
Curveball for a strike high down the middle. You got to foul off, and the last one before that looked like it was going to be a strike, ended up almost between his legs.
Jackson at first, one gone, and a 2-2 as a fastball swung on and missed. 2 out.
The breaking ball starting to help the fastball. The fastball prior to that pitch only been landed 3 out of 10 of them. But when you start landing the curveball, they got to start offering it the high fastball.
Flores did for the first strikeout of the game for Hill, and here's Michael Conforto. His 20 home runs lead the team. He's got 1 against Hill, who faced these Mets in late June and gave up 4 runs over 5 innings. And historically, this has been the toughest team for Rich to deal with in the National League. That one spins away. 1 ball, 1 strike. 7 games in Rich Hill's career against the New York Mets, and his ERA is close to 8. That's the 1-1 fly, drops down for the first time, and it spins in for strike 2.
Much harder to throw the sidearm curveball than the sidearm fastball. Sidearm fastball, your fingers are behind the ball, so you don't have to work as hard. But to get to the front of the baseball as you go sidearm, a lot of strength.
Runner takes off as Conforto bounces it gently back to Hill, and that's that for the Mets in the first. Dodgers come to bat for the first time against Jason Vargas, trying to even this series up at a game apiece. with Dave Roberts. Then it's Turner and Machado. That kept its cleanup. David Freese with his second start in a Dodger uniform. Then Hernandez, then Taylor, and Austin Barnes doing the catching for Hill. Jason Vargas has the worst earned run average in the National League overall, but in his last 4 games, he's been a different guy. What is it that's changed?
Well, he's not on the DL, and he's finally getting into a rhythm that he can pitch every 5th day. So that's happened for 7 starts, and since that has started, the last 4 have been exceptional, and he's really starting to get a feel for his changeup and his breaking ball, and he really needs that because the fastball only tops out at about 88 miles an hour.
The corner was strike 1 on Dozier.
His average fastball is going to be right around 86 miles an hour, so you can tell at the big league level he needs to have the changeup and the curveball.
Other than 2. So that first pitch that he threw, that 84, that was his fastball.
I think it is.
35 years old. Local guy. He's out of Apple Valley, about 100 miles from here. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Changeup in the dirt there at 80. It's not a big differential either. It's going to be about location with that changeup also. It's not like he has 7 to 12 miles an hour. They're only a difference about 5 or 6 most of the time.
Turned it up to 86, but missed in. 2-2.
He was coming in, Joe. He's coming in hard.
Get him a little bit uncomfy.
Oh, yeah.
2-2. Gets Dozier swinging. Up comes Justin Turner, and we go down to Alana.
Guys, Justin Turner certainly deserving of our Land Rover Performance Spotlight. He has been so tremendous since coming off of the disabled list. You can see the numbers there, but really where he has shined is the month of August. Named the National League Player of the Month for August, a 402 average, 11 doubles, a triple, 6 home runs, 20 RBIs, a stolen base across 25 games played in the month. And oh, by the way, even before that was announced, Justin Turner was announced as the Dodgers nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award. It's his 2nd straight year with that honor. It is the highest and most prestigious honor bestowed from Major League Baseball on an individual player. Justin Turner continuing to get it done on and off the field.
And he's ahead of Vargas 1-0. Started the scoring with the 1st inning home run last night against Jacob deGrom. Here he takes strike 1-1.
I would think that Justin has a heavier bat tonight. He changes the weight of his bats depending on who he's facing. To move from deGrom to Vargas, I would say you would probably go up in a little weight to slow yourself down a little bit.
Man, you're right. You can't have more polar opposites as far as who you're facing on back-to-back nights, can you?
97-mile-an-hour right-hander that can touch maybe a little higher than that. And now you got the lefty.
There's deGrom.
If you wouldn't have told me that, other than him pitching last night, I wouldn't recognize him because of the hair.
Turner sends a high fly ball to left field. Michael Conforto for out number 2.
Shortstop, number 8, Manny Machado.
Manny Machado has continued to swing a hot bat for the Dodgers. 2 more hits last night, including that one late that skipped into the seats in the right field corner. And had that ball not gone over the wall, it was going to give the Dodgers the lead in that situation. First one from Vargas is low, ball 1. Shot down the right field line, slicing foul. 1 ball and 1 strike against the 13-year Major League veteran Jason Vargas, who a year ago led the majors with 18 wins. A lot of those came in the first half. He was an all-star at a 2.5 ERA, but really struggled in the second half. That's a strike on the inside corner, 1-2. Still had shown enough last year that he was able to sign a nice 2-year contract with New York. That's the breakdown on last season. He was a totally different guy after the break. Machado reaches out and drags a bouncing ball to Frazier at third. Yeah, that's a 1-2-3 first inning for Jason Vargas. No score after 1. Get 9 out of 11. Joe Davis or Hershiser, Alana Rizzo. And Rich Hill back to the mound to face Todd Frazier, Jay Bruce, and Kevin Plawecki. Now, one of the reasons New York acquired Todd Frazier was to help out against left-handed pitching, but he has really struggled against southpaws this year, hitting .158. 32-year-old in his 8th year on an 0-1. Taps a curve foul, and it's 0-2.
Mets as a team have not hit lefties at all. 188 as a team. That's last in the National League. The Dodgers not too much better off. They're 10th in the National League. They hit lefties at about a 207 clip.
Hill home with an 0-2. Boy, it's significantly darker tonight than most nights. I know it's getting darker earlier, but cloud cover. More cloud cover than we ever see here.
The infielders and outfielders are glad. More contrast to see the ball.
Rolled into left center. Base hit for Frazier to open the second.
First baseman number 19, Joe Bruce.
The curveball of Rich Hills is very sharp. Had him out front. Just didn't quite have enough on it and beat the defense. Very low key on the mound.
Per usual. They don't call him Psycho Rich for nothing.
Just this day. He does not take that attitude home.
In fact, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Leadoff man aboard. Jay Bruce looks at a ball high. Rich told us when we visited with him during the game a couple weeks ago that just kind of freewheeling showing of emotion, that's not always been the way that he's approached it. Sharp breaking ball again, 1-1. It's kind of come along with him embracing failure and realizing that you have to go through that failure in order to really appreciate success. And as he's come out on the other side of all those injuries, he said, I'm not going to try and hide the way I'm feeling. Pitches with that emotion every time he goes out there. Here's 1-1 offering. Bruce turns on a breaking ball, sends it to deep right. Back goes Kemp, gone. Jay Bruce with a 2-run home run. And again, it's the long ball that bites Rich Hill.
Some Mets fans here in Dodger Stadium. A little bit of Bruce right there. They were not booing Rich Hill. They don't like this home run that we take a look at in Carl's cam. A breaking ball that stayed on the inner half at 72 miles an hour. Austin Barnes having to reach back for that, but the ball never touches leather. It touches wood.
So 2-0 New York. And Kevin Plawecki, strike one. That's now 11 of the last 13 runs that Rich has allowed come off home runs.
And this one much earlier in the game than usual.
And he comes back to get Plawecki swinging for the first out. You know, the Mets, one of the worst breaking ball hitting teams in baseball, but in this series they have 13 hits, 10 off of breaking balls. And last night's hero, Brandon Nimmo. Strike one. Came off of the bench to hit the game-winning 3-run shot against Kenta Maeda.
Maeda tried to go up the ladder a few different times, and he fought it off, and then picked on that slider. It was quite a battle. He ended up on top, but Maeda was pitching him tough and tried to go back foot slider and just couldn't get it there.
1-2. It's a guy that Mets fans have grown to love quickly. Former first-round pick. Took him a while to reach an everyday role, but they love his personality. Probably saw on the home run, if you're watching last night, the big smile on his face as he ran around the bases. That's who he is all the time. Always smiling, always happy. On a 2-2. He takes ball 3. Punches one inside the bag, base hit. Taylor races over to grab it, and his throw to second is cut off. Nimmo with a 1-out double.
Pitcher number 40, Jason Vargas.
Pulls an off-speed pitch last night for a home run over the right field wall, and here takes a left-handed fastball low and away and just slashes it down the line. Two completely different approaches, but both very successful.
So he's at second with 1 out, and Jason Vargas bats. So that's strike one. Mentioned that Nimmo was a first-round pick years ago. In fact, 13th overall. Out of high school in Wyoming, of all places. It's the highest pick ever out of Wyoming. They don't even have high school baseball officially there. It was all off of American Legion ball that he was able to draw the attention of scouts. It was a bit of a controversial draft pick, and that they would Choose a guy from Wyoming. Hadn't played a ton compared to some of the guys you see that are playing year-round against better competition. And those people that criticized it were justified, as his climb to the majors wasn't particularly fast. Breaking ball dribbled foul, and it stays at 1-2. And it took injuries for him to get his first everyday opportunity this year. Man, is he taking advantage of it. Hill home 1-2. Vargas smacks the ground ball to short. Machado. Two-gun.
Number 1, Ahmed Rosario.
And here's Rosario.
Got to bear down right now, right? Whatever's in front of you. Rosario is the out you need if you're Rich Hill. You cannot be thinking about that home run. You got to get him in the dugout. Only down by 2 and a lot of game left.
Here he comes with an 0-1. Back-to-back breaking balls, back-to-back strikes, 0-2.
Average spin on a breaking ball in the league is right around 2,500 RPMs.
Okay.
Rich Hill has thrown a couple tonight at 3,000 RPMs. So pitching coaches and the scientists together have said an extra 200 RPMs is what you're going to look at. And that's what, when the ball starts to have characteristics of being sharper. And so Rich Hill's thrown at 500 more revolutions per minute than the average major leaguer. That's why his curveball's so big and so sharp.
0-2. This is with the fastball, 1-2. And he's always among the league leaders in that category. But you're right, that is a notch even above what he normally sits at.
A really good one's around 2,800.
And drops into the zone, and it's slapped foul. Stays at 1-2. There are guys who have gotten jobs based off of those numbers you're talking about, those RPMs. Drops down to get him, spinning a breaking ball in there and straining a man at third. The Mets get on the board on a Jay Bruce homer to the bottom of the second, 2-0. First. but trailed the Giants 2-1 in the 7th inning on a Gorkis Hernandez home run. Arizona trying to end a 4-game losing streak. They've got an early 2-0 lead on San Diego.
Arizona's run was driven in by Ahmed and Marte. A couple of RBIs each.
Matt Kemp to lead off this inning for the Dodgers. Diamondbacks, with those 2 runs you're talking about, have matched their total from each of the last 4 games during that losing streak. Exactly 2 runs in all 4 of those losses. Vargas to Kemp with a 1-0, and inside, ball 2.
You uncovered an interesting stat about the Dodger offense over the last 6 games.
Yeah, hard to believe because they've gone 4-2 during the stretch. 3-0, but it's the first time in 2 years the Dodgers have had 6 consecutive games of 3 runs or fewer. Yet they're 4-2.
They're doing a number as far as the pitching.
And the late drama, getting the runs when they need them. He's been a big part of that. The game-winning hits on Saturday and Sunday.
On May 17th, we have used as the beginning of the hot streak when the Dodgers really started to take off.
Sharply grounded to Rosario. He's positioned well to get Kemp.
The 5 games prior to May 17th when they took off, they had scored 3 runs or less in those 5. That was the only other time they'd gone 5 or more games, or less games with 3 runs or less. Trying to get out of the way of the boomer bust offense here in the last 24 games.
David Freese with 1 gone and the base is empty. Taking ball 1. Freese figures to get a bunch of the playing time at first base against left-handed pitching, especially left-handed pitching that he's 7 for 12 against with 2 home runs like he is against Vargas. Here on a 1-0, he watches it hit the corner. 1-1. David's going to get to go to where he grew up on his first road trip with the Dodgers. St. Louis native. Won a World Series for his hometown team. Here on a 1-2, Freese takes it low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two. Got him. So far, he's got that changeup you're talking about working.
Manage your dream team in franchise mode, plus get weekly stats, roster updates, and more. RBI Baseball 18 is available now. Learn more at rbigame.com. Rated E for everyone.
Here's Hernandez. Taking ball 1. Kike with a heavily pine-tarred helmet this year.
I haven't understood why. He doesn't go to it very often. To like kind of redab the pine tar onto his gloves or his bat to get it more sticky. He's got it extra there above the hand. Fashion or function?
A little bit of both, and I'm here for you, Oral. I'm here to tell you why.
All right.
1-2. So Jorge Posada is like a godfather to him. Very close with Kike's dad. Jorge Posada used to have it like that. Late last season, Dodgers were in Philadelphia, and facing Hector Neris, a closer for the Phillies. He's in the dirt 2-2. I don't know if you remember, but there was a game where it looked like he had an obscene amount of pine tar on his hat, Hector Neris. I was like, you can't do that. Well, you know, what's going on there? So Kike, being the jokester that he is, went with a really heavy pine tar look on his helmet the next day. Had a great game, had a great finish to the year. Roller to short. Rosario will throw him out. Yeah, we'll wrap that up on the other side of this break. Hernandez, in deciding to go with a heavily pine-tarred helmet, started doing it late last season, hit very well when he did. That obviously included the 3-home run game in the National League Championship Series. Well, he figured new year should have a clean, fresh look, so he went with a normal helmet to start the year and didn't get off to a good start at all. Here's Austin Jackson taking a strike from Rich Hill, so he went back to the pine-tar look, and there's a process to it. He puts rosin on the helmet, so there's kind of a powder base. It's rolled off the hands to short. Machado. Jackson out #1. And then he takes that pine tar on there. So a little bit of function to it too, in that he likes a very sticky bat, and so does often go to the helmet to reapply that pine tar to the gloves.
I like it. If it works, you got to go with it.
That's it. If it ain't broke.
Nope. It was at the beginning when it was clean, so get back to being dirty.
Here's Flores with 1 out. First time Hills retired the leadoff man tonight. He's ahead of Flores 0-1. Flores, the guy who famously at the deadline in 2015, word went through the dugout that he'd been traded. Had to go back out to play shortstop after he found out he'd been dealt. He bangs a base hit into center, and then famously got emotional standing on the field. The trade fell through, though.
Number 30, Michael Conforto.
And 2 days later, he had a walk-off home run, first of his career. Became a fan favorite. One on, one out. Here's Conforto. Drops down to get a strike.
Rich Hill not backing away from a sidearm fastball to a left-handed hitter. That's what Peralta in his last start caught up to.
Breaking ball. He pounces on it and sends a majestic drive halfway up the pavilion for a 2-run shot. And the Mets continue to feast off Rich Hill's curve.
2 of the last 3 home runs that Rich Hill has given up, going back to his last start, have been on a sidearm pitch. One a fastball, one a breaking ball. Jay Bruce picked on a breaking ball, but it was more of the high 3/4 delivery.
Team leading 21st of the season for Conforto. And the Dodgers find themselves in an early 4-0 hold as Frazier tomahawks one to the left field corner that'll short hop off the wall. 1-out double.
Dave Roberts decides to go with a quick hook and all of a sudden doesn't want to see too much more of what's happening with Rich Hill. Rich is the 3rd hitter next inning. Right now they got to figure out how to rescue Frazier from second, keep him there, and stay down 4-0.
Jay Bruce to the plate now. He was the first man to leave the building against Hill.
3 for 3 sidearm pitches. I misrepresented that home run. I forgot that he had dropped down on that pitch. I don't think it's something Rich should abandon, the sidearm delivery. It's very effective. It just hasn't been effective lately.
That one speared at third. Nice play by Justin Turner to get Jay Bruce.
Usually you get a chance to charge a ball or maybe lay back on it a little bit. And Justin kind of in between right there, but he could retreat because he was positioned almost in the baseline. So giving ground right there did not all of a sudden get him a long way from first base.
Frazier still at second. 2 gone for Kevin Plawecki. Strikeout victim his first time and takes strike 1 here. Hill to the plate, 0-1 and nothing in 2. Hill's 4th strikeout of the game, but the Mets with 4 runs on a couple 2-run homers. Bruce in the 2nd, Conforto here in the 3rd. Day at Dodger Stadium, and the first 40,000 fans get this wonderful giveaway, an Oral Hershiser bobblehead honoring the 59-inning scoreless streak and the 30th anniversary. It is a accurate depiction of a handsome fella.
Okay, let's get on to the game.
Chris Taylor to lead this inning off against Jason Vargas. Dodgers trying to battle from behind in this one with a pair of 2-run home runs against Rich Hill. For now, just looking for their first base runner tonight. It's Jason Vargas, who comes in with the worst earned run average in the National League, has retired the first 6.
When you get down 4-0 and you're facing somebody who doesn't have a lot of velocity, you've got to watch out and not be too anxious to want to make it happen. A changeup, all of a sudden he can start pulling the string on you if you're too aggressive throughout your at-bat trying to make something happen for the team. It's going to be tough sledding.
On an 0-1 pitch. Taylor gets that change and couldn't lay off it. 0-2. Here in his first start since last Thursday. Kind of caught between a rock and a hard place now, in that he's trying so hard to get out of the slump, but because of the slump, his playing time is now diminished, where he doesn't have as many opportunities to fight out of it. The acquisition of David Freese will trickle down from that, further diminishing the playing time. Hoping to take advantage of the opportunity tonight. 1-2. Ball 2.
Throughout the year, we've heard Dave Roberts answer questions about the lineup and why a certain guy might be in there, even though he's been struggling. And Dave Roberts was like, I got to get him going. We're going to get him in there. We're going to stay with him. We believe in him. But you get down to this race, it's got to be
hit high down the line, but he hooks it foul.
It's got to be about not, figuring out how to get somebody relevant or get them hot. It's about where do we have the best chance to win the game.
Yeah. So much different than last September, just by nature of the standings. 2-2. Taylor takes ball 3. It's an interesting balance to try and strike. Not everybody clicking going into the postseason, but you got to get to the postseason. Chris Taylor leading off the 3rd. And we'll do a 3-2 again. He'll take any good feeling he can get right now, and that's a simple pleasure there, I'm sure, to turn around and see the ball on the ground. Eighth pitch of this at-bat. Just misses inside. One of the first curves we've seen Vargas throw. Dodgers have their first base runner on a walk from Chris Taylor.
The ball on the ground, you said, was a good feeling for him. Well, not hearing the umpire call strike 3 was a real good feeling after that ball went by him.
Holding his breath, waiting to hear something, and happy to not hear anything at all from the rookie umpire, Jeremy Rayhack, as Barnes stands in. Takes ball 1. Little different story for Barnes in that, by the fact that he's the number 2 catcher, he's going to get his starts. And at a premium defensive position like catcher, what he's bringing there with his framing ability makes up for what he's not done offensively in that specific role. Now, when you compare it to what he did last year, it's been a really disappointing year for him. But his role right now not changing based on the lack of production at the plate. On a 2-0 from Vargas. Swings through it, 2-1.
Even in the midst of his struggles, though, his on-base percentage at .338, and the team's on-base percentage as a whole is .326, so he's still above average as far as getting on base for the club.
Boy, it's been a tight zone, at least in this half inning. 3-1.
3-2 breaking ball to Taylor. Could have went either way. Went the way of the Dodgers and Chris Taylor, and that pitch right there to move the count to 3-1.
Barnes hits a fly ball to left field that sends Conforto back to the wall, and there it goes. Austin Barnes with his second home run of the season to cut the deficit in half. Couple slumping hitters combined to get the Dodgers on the board. The walk from Taylor and the homer from Barnes. Now Rich Hill hits a bullet base hit into right. Rich Hill rakes.
The short leg kick, stayed behind it, squared it up. Nice job.
So after Vargas retired the first 6, first 3 have reached here in the 3rd. Second trip to the order begins with Brian Dozier. He takes a strike. Coming inside with an 0-1. Pop in the mid in the corner, nothing in 2. Try to get him to fish for the change, but Dozier took it. So now 1-2. Back to the mound. To second one. Not in time at first. The Dozier aboard on a fielder's choice, and we look back at the home run from Austin Barnes to get the Dodgers on the board.
All the scoring as we take a look at the Morongo slow-mo cam. Austin Barnes with that beautiful swing that powered that ball over the left field fence. All of the runs in this game so far from 2-run homers. And now it's Turner, who could tie it with a 2-run homer of his own here. One and 0. On the old New York Met, Justin Turner.
It was coming off his best season to date, hitting .280 as utility man for New York. Was starting to get excited about some of the changes he was making to his swing that we all now know. But that's when they got the call that the Mets were letting him go. He and his wife Courtney were getting in a car in Los Angeles to drive to San Diego for a players union meeting. His phone rings. Alderson, the GM of the Mets at the time, gave him the bad news, and he had to go into this players union meeting. Players introduce themselves, say what team they play for, and he introduced himself and said, "I just got non-tendered by the Mets." 2-1. And that wasn't the only time that he'd had a big disappointment there. A few years earlier, right after the Mets had claimed him from the Orioles, he had a huge year in AAA and a huge finish. I went 6 for 6 on the final day of the AAA season. Was sure he'd be called up, but that call never came. 2-1. Ball 3. And he's channeled some of those disappointments and the motivation to help make him the player that he's become. Four-2 game, third inning, 1-on-1 out, and on a 3-1 pitch, Justin Turner takes strike 2.
Most of the Dodger right-handed hitters against Vargas will be working the ball to right center field, so they'll stay on the changeup but still be able to catch up to the fastball.
Good lead for Dozier. Vargas home 3-2. Turner hits a high fly ball to center. Back goes Jackson at the wall to make the catch. 2 out. Got an update for you from Denver. Giants led the Rockies 2-1. It is now 5-2 Colorado as Carlos Gonzalez hits a bases loaded triple.
That is a big gap in Colorado. A lot of triples in that ballpark.
Rockies looking for their 4th in a row, sitting alone in first for the first time since the beginning of June. They lost the handle on first that time around when they came into this ballpark and got swept. Machado. Ball 1.
Boy, that ball to center field that Justin Turner hit. I'm like, run out of room, run out of room, run out of room, and then he slowed down right there on the warning track.
It says 395 there, and I think it was about 394. 2-0.
And you mentioned the chill in the air, starting to feel like October here. That chill, those few degrees, who knows what they do to slow that ball down.
Dozier takes his lead, and Machado hits a line drive base hit, slicing into right center. That'll send Dozier to third, and they've got him cornered with 2 out.
A cue shot. Justin Turner absolutely crushes one to straightaway center, gets nothing. Machado fooled on this, but it's up and hits it right off the end of the bat. Drops it in nicely. He's a true Dodger now, where barrels are overrated.
Visit from Dave Island. Would retire the first 6. The Dodgers 3 hits and a walk in this inning against him.
Number 27, Matt Kemp.
And Matt Kemp bats for the tying run aboard. Ball 1, which has been a theme over the first few innings. Vargas was able to pitch around ball 1 over the first 2. Not as much here in the 3rd. The 1-0. On a 2-0 pitch, Matt Kemp takes ball 3. David Freese waits on deck. On a 3-0 pitch, Kemp takes the green light, hits a soft bouncing ball to second. Flores throws to get him and end the inning. But the Dodgers get on the board with the unlikeliest of sources in this lineup. Taylor and Barnes at the bottom combine. A walk from Taylor, a homer from Barnes, and after 3, it's 4-2. California BMW Centers. Hurry in today to the BMW Summer On Sales event for exceptional offers. Details at SoCalBMW.com. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time. Rich Hill delivers strike 1 to Brandon Nimmo in a 4-2 game here in the 4th. He comes back home with the next one, and it's a curve that lands for strike 2. Ball 1. Pair of 2-run homers against Hill. Jay Bruce in the 2nd. Michael Conforto in the 3rd.
.63 pitches for Rich Hill, throwing a tremendous amount of strikes, above 80%.
Strikes out Nimmo.
The 2-2-run homers, but you know, people say, well, is he throwing too many strikes? Because you hear the term effectively wild, and we've had nights when Rich Hill has been effectively wild, that's for sure. But he is just loading the strike zone up with both the fastball and the curveball.
He'll face his counterpart Vargas. A little bit outside, 1-0. He'll let a base hit his first time up. Vargas trying to return the favor here on a 1-0 pitch. He takes a strike. Now, Jason was quite a hitter himself, not just in high school, but in college. He was a two-way player. First at LSU, then at Cypress Junior College, then Long Beach State. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So good that he wasn't sure if teams are going to draft him as a pitcher like the Marlins did in the 2nd round or as a hitter. He'll get some swinging with a curve. 2 gone.
Friday on an all-new Backstage Dodgers, go behind the scenes as Matt Kemp's late-game heroics lead the Dodgers to 2 comeback wins in a row. Plus, follow Kemp to the Warstick Sports showroom as he looks to upgrade his gear. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers, presented by Cadillac, Friday after the postgame on Sportsnet LA.
2 gone for Rosario, who swings at a first pitch curve, and it's foul. I know they're not talking about gear as in just outfits, because Matt doesn't need any upgrading to that gear.
No.
As you can see in the preview for the Backstage Dodgers, with the wonderful hat that he's rocking.
He has a huge fashion sense.
It's one of the ways that he likes to just kill time, is hop online and design outfits. Inside the bag, fair ball for the red-hot Rosario. Taylor stumbles as he gets ready to play the ricochet, but with the way that Rosario runs, it was a double either way.
Center fielder Austin Jackson.
Austin Jackson, the hitter. Strike 1. Strike 2. Wanted it with a fastball, but won't get it, and it's 1-2.
Borderline high, borderline outside. Umpire's eyes are still and the pitcher's eyes are moving.
Another one close, but Jackson lays off, and Ray Hack not giving him the call. So it evens 2-2. Hill trying to put up his first 0 since the first inning as he comes downhill with the next one. It's a curve. It's hit off the end of the bat. David Freese comfortably to the line to make the catch. To the bottom of the 4th we go. The Dodgers trailing at 4-2, and she's confused. Some signs of life, though, in that third inning against Vargas.
Yeah, you know, it was nice to see Chris Taylor get something positive. Austin Barnes, maybe the rest of the lineup will start chiming in. The guys we've expected to be part of the offense, so that would be really, really good.
They trail this game 4-2 as Vargas gets ready to pitch the fourth inning, and Freese takes ball one. David struck out his first time. It's one of the 2 Ks thus far for Vargas. Big music guy, David Freese. Grew up dreaming of being a rock star. Plays the piano. He likes to sing. He's a vinyl record collector. Here on a 2-0 pitch, he fouls it back, 2-1. Coming inside and missing. Freese ahead 3-1, leading off this fourth.
Have you ever heard a record from a turntable?
Yeah, my dad was big into them.
I haven't heard one in a long, long time. I'm just wondering what the quality of them are, you know, compared to what we're used to listening to now.
Full count. I think they're kind of making a comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was such a huge goal of mine through high school and college to, you know, how nice a stereo can I afford? And having to label all your albums going off to college so guys wouldn't steal it out of your room in the dorm. They still seem to disappear a little bit.
So what did your music come on when you went to college? What did you take with you?
I took record albums.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember my room number 224.
Wow.
Bromfield.
Fly ball to right. Long way to go for Nimmo, but it's foul. Careful.
Don't get hurt. I'm old enough to remember 8 tracks.
I'm not.
8-track. Pushing it into the player. Popping it out. And here comes the cassettes.
Yeah. And I was a burnt CD guy myself.
I remember doing that for my kids. To a point where they were teaching me how to do it.
Another full count pitch to David Freese, and he unloads on a ball to left and has hit his first home run as a Dodger. Cutting it to 1 here in the fourth. So 4-3 game here in the fourth. Kike Hernandez now taking ball 1 from Vargas.
Get everybody a vinyl record if that's what it takes to get the offense going. Picks on an off-speed pitch, hits it out in front of the plate and elevates it.
One and one. I don't know about you, but for me, David Freese in person, a bigger guy than I realized, watching him play. Not as close proximity. We're seeing him a few games a year. Inside corner, strike 2. Strong.
Yeah, broad shoulders. He is a lot bigger than maybe when you saw him in a Cardinal uniform.
Vargas home 1-2. Hernandez punches one right side. That's stopped by diving Flores, but he has no play. Infield single, Kike Hernandez.
kinds of barrels are overrated hits in this game, but boy, you'll take them. But better than atom balls.
First to have reached in the fourth, just like in the third. Chris Taylor was a part of that, and he's up here. What do they got there?
Spray of some sort.
Bottom of the zone for a strike. Other than two. Vargas retired the first 6 that he faced. 6 of the last 9 have reached now. The left-hander comes home 0-2, and Taylor takes ball 1. Driven to left center field. Jackson over. That is off the wall. It was read beautifully by Hernandez. He stopped at third with nobody out. No reason to push the envelope. Taylor with a ringing double, and the Dodgers in business in the fourth.
Chris Taylor with a walk in the last inning. The Dodgers send a lot of players to the plate, so he comes up in the very next inning in an even better rhythm. Boy, that ball was only about 6 feet from getting out of here. Kike Hernandez, you said, had a great read, but Chris Woodward hold him up with no outs. No sense taking the risk.
Here's Barnes. Started the scoring with a home run. Tying run at third, go ahead run at second, and Barnes takes ball 1. We look back at that home run on StatCast AI, powered by AWS.
No matter what these measurements are, the measurement in Austin Barnes' personality and heart is a lot better.
Pops this one up. Bruce lets it fall. Barnes catches a break.
The worm may have turned for Austin Barnes. Not sure the official score can even give this an error. Just doesn't get to it.
Well, they have Muncy in the on-deck circle in Rich Hill's spot, but as you just saw, Rich standing by. Depending on whether or not Barnes can get the job done here, perhaps. Vargas brings him a 1-1 and misses ball 2.
Half of the Dodger hits on Vargas's changeup. And his changeup is 50-50 as far as being a strike or not.
2-2.
Don't try and do too much with this new life at the plate. Fastball that he can't get by you, and a changeup and a curveball you got to try and stay on, get these runs in.
2 on, nobody out. 2-2 is rolled to third. Off for Frazier. The game is tied. Put it in play. Good things happen. The Dodgers back from down 4-0 to tie it in the fourth.
Frazier saw Hernandez break, and as he goes to his left, he's not sure what he's going to do. It looks like with the footwork, he was going to head just to first base, get the routine out. Didn't read the spin or the hop.
So now Hill will bat for himself, with Barnes having accomplished getting the runner in from third. And why not let him hit for himself? Singled his first time. Lays a bunt down. Flip home, and Taylor is out by a mile.
Nice play by Vargas. It was a safety squeeze. Chris Taylor's secondary lead was not very aggressive, but once he sees the ball on the ground, he's supposed to break, and with the ball being directly back at Vargas, he made a nice scoop throw with his glove.
It does not appear Mickey Callaway is going to let Jason Vargas face the order a third time. Points down to the bullpen, and that's going to do it. He had a 4-0 lead on the strength of a couple of 2-run home runs, but the Dodgers with 2 in the third, and 2 in the fourth, and 2 on with 1 out. Is brought to you by Staples, the back-to-school specialty store, and by White Boy Rick, based on the true story, only in theaters September 14th. Tyler Bachelor comes into the game for the Mets, with the Dodgers having tied things up at 4.
Big, strong right-handed arm, average fastball over 96 miles an hour. Also has a changeup and a slider. Made his major league debut June 25th.
And he'll face the top of the Dodger order, Brian Dozier, with Barnes at second and Hill at first. Barnes steals third.
That's a huge stolen base. Feeling disappointed, the Dodgers being thrown out on the safety squeeze by Rich Hill, but Barnes sets the situation again, getting a runner on third with less than 2 outs.
Two 2-0.
Dodgers did a nice job coming back into this game off of Vargas. Those 4 runs he gave up are more than he gave up in a total of his last 3 starts. They figured him out early.
Here on a 2-0 pitch, Dozier. It's a bouncing ball to third. Barnes charges home. They try to turn a double play but can't. And after trailing 4-0, the Dodgers lead 5-4.
Todd Frazier's had a rough inning down there at third base. Made the error, and now I think he makes the wrong choice here. Austin Barnes did not get a great jump, and boy, the baseball in the air can beat the runner on the ground by a lot. And Austin Barnes is only about halfway to home plate when Frazier fielded that ball.
Did you see how the Cubs-Brewers game ended yesterday? On a decision similar to that for Chris Bryant at third. He tried to turn a double play with the bases loaded by stepping on the bag and throwing across the diamond instead of coming home.
Wow.
And Christian Yelich beat it out at first, and the Brewers won. So runner at first, 2 gone, and Turner's up there. One and out. Turner just missed tying this game. Flying out to the wall in center in the third. Right below that 395 sign. Stare down and then time. Fastball rides by him 1-1. My, how the tune has changed for Rich Hill tonight. He's in that 4-0 hole. He finds himself pitching with the lead. 1 ball, 1 strike. Justin Turner takes it by the hands, ball 2. Dozier takes off and Turner shoots 1 foul. Dodgers in this inning alone have matched the most runs that they've scored in a game over the last week. 3. There's 5 runs. First time in 7 games that they've scored more than 3.
Absolutely amazing that they've won 8 out of the last 10.
I know. Goes to show you how good the pitching's been. Another 2-2 coming. Dozier runs again. Turner swings and misses at this 96-mile-per-hour heater. But the Dodgers with 3 to take the lead. The first one coming on a solo shot from David Freese. His first is a Dodger. Brand new game as we go to the 5th. To you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Get huge savings on a reliable new Camry at Toyota's National Clearance Event. And by Panda Express, celebrating its 35th anniversary this year. Mets led this game 4-0, but the Dodgers with 5 unanswered. And as we go to the 5th, it's 5-4. David Freese hitting his first Dodger home run. Rich Hill pitching with the lead for the first time. Starts Wilmer Flores with a strike. Rich Hill, you know, is naturally right-handed. That's a towering pop-up. Back of the infield. Dozier. His older brother, John, taped his right arm behind his back so he would practice with his left hand as a boy. And that's how he became a left-handed thrower.
Thanks, bro.
I guess, huh? He's by far the youngest of 5. And his siblings had a big impact on him. That's a significant thing. Here's Conforto fouling off the first pitch. Another older brother, Lloyd, who pitched Division III ball. Taught him his curveball grip. But his brothers and his dad wouldn't let him throw that curve until he was 16. Ball on a strike.
And where was his dad as his right arm was being taped behind his back? I can't believe you guys have done that. But Dad, look how good he throws with the left hand.
It'll be worth it. Just trust me.
Yeah. In 16 years, you know, when we start letting him throw a curveball, it's going to be devastating.
And wait till you see him drop down, Dad. 3-1. From Milton, Massachusetts.
I hate to see what they did with their G.I. Joes.
That's awesome. Lands that curve and a count goes full. Conforto has one of the 2 home runs against Hill. Both have come on a breaking ball. Here's a payoff. Conforto muscles one and a bounce to Justin Turner. 2 gone.
Justin took a little extra time on fielding that ball with all the spin on it. And didn't really rush it.
Here's Frazier. Two for 2 tonight. Strike one. Back-to-back curves, grounded foul. And he has continued to fill up the strike zone with that curveball. There's been some damage against it, but he's not had any trouble locating it for a strike. 26 of the 30 curves that he's thrown have been strikes. 0-2. He's got his first 1-2-3 inning tonight, striking out Todd Frazier. Halfway home, Dodgers in front 5-4.
'19, purchase season tickets to enjoy exclusive experiences throughout the season and guarantee your seats for great promotional nights and exciting matchups, including the Cubs and the Yankees. Receive 2018 postseason rights with the purchase of your 2019 season tickets. Visit Dodgers.com/season tickets.
Congratulations to Eric Hanhold, who's about to make his major league debut for New York.
It's a guy who kept the ball in the ballpark in the minor leagues. Only 2 home runs this year. A little under 50 innings.
Welcome to the bigs. Here's Manny Machado, 1-0. No soft open for him. One on one.
First hitter I faced in the big leagues was Hall of Famer Gary Carter. So, yeah. You're coming to the big leagues and you don't know who you're going to get.
Got a haircut, but got it out. Speaking of minor leagues, Oklahoma City Dodgers, 2 must-win games yesterday, won them both to claim the PCL Northern Division title. They'll open up a best-of-5 conference championship with the Memphis Redbirds tomorrow in Oklahoma City. Not just Oklahoma City, but every one of the Dodgers stateside affiliates made the playoffs in the respected league. A little bit low on Kemp.
Well, congratulations to all those guys. It's a great accomplishment for the whole organization. There's just one more team they got to get in the playoffs.
That's it. Strike on Kemp. He's gone final in Denver. The Rockies beating the Giants 6-2. So Colorado's won 4 straight. The lead grows to a full game at this point. Kemp shoots a base hit to right. Yeah, the Rockies, 26 years of existence, have not won a division title. I don't know about you, but I'm surprised that we're now 23 games from the end of the season, at the end of the night, that the Rockies are still this seriously involved.
Well, they assembled a portion of their team to compete, and that was the bullpen, and that really has not been up to par, but lately it's getting better.
Strike one on Freeze.
And the offense was always expected to be there, but that's been kind of inconsistent too.
It's come around the last week or so.
Starting pitching was young, but with a lot of potential.
And has captured a lot of that potential already. 1-1.
It's been an up and down year for all 3 of the contenders in the National League West. A lot of it with the Dodgers' injuries. And then there was some slumping times as far as the boomer bust with the offense, and they're looking still to get out of that trend.
Really, it's not just the West, it's across the National League. There is no exceptional team. There's no standout super team. Yeah, the Dodgers last year chasing the wins record, the pace that they were on into mid-August. There is no team like that this year. That one hits Freeze. And they're first and second.
Young man making his major league debut did not do that on purpose, and I know David Freeze had a home run his last at bat, but this is just a young man throwing as hard as he can with adrenaline and not being able to command it.
First and second, one gone for Kike. 1 for 2 tonight. We've talked quite a bit about Arizona's remaining schedule, how difficult it is. After tonight, as they try to end their losing streak against San Diego, they go on a 20-game stretch against contending teams. And we're not talking fringe contenders. Atlanta, the Cubs, the Astros, and the Dodgers and Rockies. 20 games in a row against that bunch for Arizona, before finishing the season with 3 in San Diego. Here's an 0-2. Taken for a ball. Colorado, on the other hand, the narrative of their schedule is that it's very National League West heavy. It's about done with the Padres, finished with the Padres, and then a whole bunch of games with the Dodgers, the D-backs, and the Giants left. Soft bouncer to a charging Rosario, whose throw is in time to get Hernandez. 2 out.
The last few days, each team has spent time in first place. Still up and down and competing.
All right, it went from Dodgers and D-backs tied. Yep. Night before, D-backs were alone. The day after, the Dodgers were alone. And now the Rockies are alone. Second and third with 2 gone, and an opportunity for Chris Taylor to add on to this lead here. Been a good night for him so far. It was a pretty looking swing on that ball that he drove off of the wall for a double in the 4th.
Harken back to the 3-2 curveball that he took just barely inside that got him the walk, that maybe all of a sudden started to have him feel a little bit better, and picking up the ball and reading it in the strike zone. Next at bat, positive contact. Turner Ward Dave Roberts, anybody in the hitting department always talks about you got to get strikes to then be aggressive. Sometimes you've got to walk your way out of a slump.
Takes this one low, ball one. Kemp at third, Freeze at second. And in his major league debut, Eric Hanhold. This is away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. At the bottom of the order that's gotten it done tonight. All 5 runs coming from 5 through 8 in the Dodger lineup. Taylor swings through this one, and the inning comes to an end. They leave him at second and third to the 6th in a 5-4 game. ...1988 for a look back at an unforgettable NLCS. The Dodgers, as the underdog, battled past the Mets into the World Series. Part 2, presented by Land Rover, tomorrow after the postgame on Sportsnet LA. Rich Hill back to the mound, now leading 5-4 in a game that he once trailed 4-0.
Really has been much more efficient in the last 3 innings. Only 40 pitches to get through the last 3 innings. Those first 2 innings, 47 pitches just to get through 2.
Jay Bruce, there's a 2-run homer against him tonight, takes the ball. I know you talk about the emotions that certain uniforms elicit in you. What does looking at the Mets uniform do?
Intimidating. They had an unbelievable roster when you go back into the heyday of the New York Mets in my generation. Keith Hernandez and the Strawberries and the Kevin McReynolds, and it was quite a roster. Dykstra and Gary Carter. Better make your pitches to that roster because they are going to make you pay if you made mistakes. Dwight Gooden, Ron Darling. Some pretty good teams. We got in the way though one year.
Two and two.
I wore the Met uniform for 1 year.
Yeah. 99.
It was an intense year as an ex-Dodger playing in New York. Fans kept me accountable. Ball 1, they booed.
They're tough, period.
They are.
And you probably didn't have a whole lot of grace from them.
No, I knew early on I better show everything that I was doing to try, like Rich Hill, get a little psycho out there, so they knew I was into it.
Pulls it on a bounce off the end of the bat to Dozier. Bruce, the first out of the 6th.
I mean, it's been long enough now that, you know, the Dodgers weren't offering me a job, so I had to go find employment because I still wanted to pitch. And I actually chose New York and San Francisco on purpose. They didn't know because I was still negotiating to get as much money as possible. But I chose those in my head of where I wanted to go.
As far as the cities?
Yeah, I wanted the cities, and I wanted the intensity from the fans to keep me accountable as you get older. You need somebody there pushing you every day to stay in shape and to go for it. And so it was absolutely on purpose. And I loved both the cities as far as the life there. Got to live in downtown San Francisco, got to live at 73rd and 1st in New York. And so, yeah, I wanted the family to experience those two great cities once I knew I couldn't live and play in LA.
Another one on Kevin Plawecki. And a 5-4 game in the 6th. Rich Hill back home. Strike 2. Is there one city that you didn't get to play in that you wish you could have?
My other plan, my body gave out on me. I wanted to go to Chicago and live in a brownstone and live right near Wrigley.
Walk to the park?
Walk to the park and be part of that culture for 1 year. And I went to Cleveland because I wanted to be a more well-rounded baseball person when I retired, and I wanted to experience American League ball. And at that time, Cleveland they were averaging about 7.5 runs a game, and I knew my skills were starting to go downhill, and they had a really good bullpen, and I said, I could deal with 7.5 runs a game.
Fly ball center field. Hernandez and Taylor, who makes the call on the catch. Just looking at your numbers in Cleveland, 4.21 ERA, a little better than league average, but you went 45-21 there.
Hey, that's some good support.
And
I'll tell you what, those American League lineups, to pitch to them, that circular lineup with the DH, and then some of the super teams that they had at that time. And I was playing for a super team. That might be one of the best teams ever to not win the World Series.
Brandon Nimmo with 2 out. Strike 1.
I spoke to Tim Kirchin today, a great writer for ESPN, and I think he's doing an article on those great Cleveland years where they never got it across, or we never got it across the finish line.
Nimmo checks his swing, 1-1. Of course, they were so close again 2 years ago.
They're so good this year again.
Couldn't lay off that one, 1-2. Had the 22-game winning streak last year, and then the disappointing early exit. A division series against the Yankees. Yeah, they could be a sneaky team this year. Not considered one of the super teams in the American League, but watch out. Hill home with a 1-2 to get him on the outside corner. Rich Hill winds up getting through at least 6 innings in this game and has a 5-4 lead.
Brought to you by T-Mobile. This game right here has been a whole bunch of home runs. This two-run blast here put the Mets on top, but Austin Barnes came back with a two-run blast of his own. And then Mr. Freeze with his solo shot, the first home run as a Dodger. Both sides of the diamond flexing their muscles as Rich Hill gets congratulations as he exits. And you know what? That was a battle for Rich Hill, but he did a nice job settling down after the damage.
It's got to be a satisfying feeling for a starting pitcher to not necessarily have the prettiest line at the end, but know that you've given your team a shot.
And to get deeper into the game, so you protected the bullpen as best you could, even if you were perfect.
Muncy will pinch hit. That is in the 8th spot. Jock Peterson climbing up the dugout steps. Looks like he'll bat out of the 9th spot. Eric Canhold, second inning of work, bounces his first pitch. Pedro Baez. One-on-one. Kelly Jansen again available tonight after he was given last night off, having pitched in the final 3 games against Arizona. One and two. It is all Diamondbacks in Phoenix as they look to end their 4-game skid. 6-0 over the Padres. Dodgers lead Arizona by a game. And hold to Muncy 1-2, and Max watches that one drop a little bit low.
We had talked about going into the Arizona series that the Dodgers were trying to keep the deficit, or how far behind Arizona they were, within arm's reach, so that the games in the series you could actually make that up, and they did. And that's kind of the same goal right now, getting ready to go to Colorado. Keep it close so the 3 in Colorado not only means something, but you can lap them.
They'll come after an off day Thursday. Open that series Friday in Denver. And the 8th pitch, Muncy hits a fly ball off the end of the bat to Jackson in center. And Jock Peterson sent up there by Dave Roberts. Mickey Callaway is going to counter. Daniel Zamora warmed up and ready to go in the Mets bullpen. Canhold finishes off his major league debut. And here comes Zamora. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the Southern California BMW Centers. Hurry in today to the BMW Summer On Sales event for exceptional offers. Details at SoCalBMW.com. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time. Here's another rookie, Daniel Zamora, 25 years old from Loma Linda, California.
Only his 9th game in the big leagues. His outings have not been very long. The last one, he hasn't pitched in this month. The last one was right there at the tail end of August. Gave up a couple of runs. And 2/3 of an innings pitched.
And with the lefty getting sent out there after Jock Peterson was introduced, Dave Roberts counters with Kyle Farmer. Kyle Farmer's last major league at bat, June 19th, beat the Cubs with the Dodgers down to their final strike. That pinch hit 2-run double at Wrigley. Two and one. Two and two. Farmer's worked it full. On a payoff pitch, Farmer watches it sweep in there to the back door. Strike three. 2 out. Zamora is for one batter. Callaway comes back out. And as Dozier gets ready to hit, back into the bullpen they go. Back in a moment.
Young man was a closer in the minor leagues at 71 career minor league saves. Got his first big league save versus San Francisco on August 22nd, but he has had some rough times of late. Last 8 2/3 innings, he's given up 8 earned runs.
And in 2 years in the majors, he's 0-11 with an ERA above 5. Las Vegas native, went to Bishop Gorman High School there, and then USD San Diego. First one to Dozier, misses, down and away. Dozier gave the Dodgers their first lead of the night. Grounding into a fielder's choice, bringing home a man from third. Here he hits pop fly to right center field. Nimmo waits under it, and that's that for the Dodgers in the sixth. To the late innings we go. 5-4. Dodgers in front. Pedro Baez ready to go.
Baez on in relief, the first reliever the Dodgers have had to use today. And after the game tomorrow, the Dodgers will head to Denver for a critical 3-game set beginning on Friday against the Colorado Rockies. However, closer Kenley Jansen may not be making the trip. The Dodgers and Dave Roberts saying earlier that they have not decided whether Kenley will make the trip. Of course, that is where he suffered that irregular heartbeat the last time the team was there. Kenley had an appointment today with his cardiologist. Dave Roberts telling us that it is completely up to the cardiologist as well as Kenley's interest in pitching there as to whether or not he will go. He has expressed interest in wanting to go, but guys, this is just my opinion. Certainly don't want to lose Kenley for further, if you'd rather lose him for just the 3 days of that series rather than having a setback and losing him for a significant amount of time.
All right, so it'll be interesting to see in the coming days what the final decision on that is. As Pedro Baez comes on for the 7th, faces Dom Smith. Strike one. Homecoming for Dominic Smith. Grew up in South Central LA and is a product of Compton's MLB Academy there. Out an 0-1. Takes it high, ball on a strike. You'll have to forgive him, though. He grew up a diehard Angels fan.
I've been over to that complex a few times, given some clinics. Kenny Landreau is a significant contributor there.
Hits a high fly ball to right field. And you can hear some of, sounds like Dom's friends and family extra loud as that ball flies off of the bat. But watching that with their hearts. And it dies in the glove of Matt Kemp, one away in the 7th. Pedro Baez now against the top of the order, trying to keep things rolling. Pedro's not allowed a run since August 9th. Caleb Ferguson beginning his warm-ups. Baez dealing with Rosario. The hottest Mets hitter right now is in front of a slider for strike one.
One of the hottest Mets hitters facing one of the hottest Dodger relievers.
Who would have thought?
He's really come on strong here in the last few weeks.
Last 9 2/3, Oral. 2 singles, 2 walks. That's it.
12 strikeouts.
Yeah.
And he's not been fortunate. He's been dominant.
Here's his 1-1. Rosario reaches out and flips it foul, 1-2. He's going to have another few weeks here to prove that he can sustain this and that he can be this guy in big spots for the Dodgers. He's done it before.
There's a lot of candidates for these late inning roles to bridge to Kenley Jansen, and he's definitely one of them.
Weak pop up, short right field, out in the triangle. It falls foul. The Dodgers catch a break as Kemp, Dozier, and Freese all come together. None of them take charge.
You know, when David peeled off, I felt like somebody might have called it, but maybe it's just a fan kind of just being loud. He gave up on it early. That is very close.
They're going to challenge it, Oral.
Going to have to stop it when it's hitting the ground to read that one way or the other.
We have that ability.
Plays under review.
I think that's fair.
Sure looks fair to me. Rosario did not run. And he's still at first base if that's where he ends up. Had a ball like this reversed last night. Cody Bellinger hitting a line drive down that same exact line. Was ruled foul and then overturned to fair. Alex Verdugo was on at the time when Cody's was reviewed and was placed at third base where he started at first, and Cody was just awarded first. So I guess Rosario did make his way to second. He was just standing at first after the call was foul and was maybe going to go back to home plate. Foul line is painted on the grass area so you don't get to see like chalk puff up.
There's the ruling. It is a fair ball.
Ball's overturned.
So the lack of communication, the Dodger outfielders, or the Dodger fielders, leads to this double for Rosario. And the tying run is in scoring position with 1 out in the 7th.
He stays hot with a very good break from the Dodger defense.
Second double tonight. And umpires will have to buckle down with Austin Jackson due up, although it looks like Tyler McNeil is going to pinch hit. Or Jeff McNeil, beg your pardon. Rookie has been fantastic for New York. Came up in late July and has done nothing but hit, just like it seems like every level that they've promoted him to. He's never one of the highest rated prospects, but every time he's been given a chance, he just kept on hitting.
Left-handers actually this year are hitting below 200 off of Pedro Baez. As we had already shown you, Caleb Ferguson, a left-hander warming up in the Dodger bullpen, but Dave Roberts electing to stick with Pedro.
Rosario, great wheels at second, likely going to score on a base hit. That's in for a strike, 1-1.
And Pedro can't fall asleep at the wheel. He's got to keep Rosario close there at second base. The Mets have nothing to lose if they want to try and push the envelope a little bit and try and get the tying run over to third with less than 2 outs. Manny Machado has been trying to keep him close also. Pedro's got to pay attention. Give him 1 or 2 looks, a half look, so he didn't get any timing out there.
Rosario second in the NL since the All-Star break in steals. Muscled off of the hands. Freeze at first. 2 out. And it'll be up to Wilmer Flores.
Second baseman number 4, Wilmer Flores.
All the runs for the Mets in this game have come off homers. A pair of 2-run shots against Hill. They're 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. It's funny, you hear the phone ring there and our effects microphones.
Yeah.
As Rick Honeycutt was grabbing the phone. Here we go. Baez comes home and buzzes him with 97. Chopped up the middle. Machado's got it. Wide throw, but Freeze puts the tag down and keeps the Dodgers in front. And an inning with a lack of defense nearly opened the door for the Mets to tie it. They're able to lock things down with this defensive play and stay in front by 1 as we stretch. Brewing Company. Solo shot for David Freese tonight. Austin Barnes has a 2-run home run. He's been substituted out of the game with the pitcher now hitting 8th. Grandal replacing Barnes defensively. Dodgers 5, Mets 4 to the bottom of the 7th. Dominic Smith stays in and plays first. Jay Bruce moves to right. And on to pitch, Corey Oswalt.
Has not fared very well. Looking to turn things around. His last outing, he got 2 outs and didn't give up any runs. But the outing before that against Chicago, gave up 6 earnings in an inning.
Turner, Machado, and Kemp coming up. Dodgers trying to pad this lead a little bit. Turner strokes the first pitch of the inning to right center. Nimmo won't get there. Turner's got extra bases. A double to lead off the 7th.
He crushed the ball back in the 3rd to center field. This one right center. Don't make the 1st or 3rd out at 3rd base. So Justin pulled up with an easy double at 2nd. Counting on Machado and others to get him in.
Manny tonight 1 for 3. Driven to right center field. They've split the gap again. Back-to-back doubles from Turner and Machado, and the Dodgers lead at 6-4.
Pedro Baez pitched around a defensive gift, and all of a sudden they've got an extra insurance run. Instead of being tied or only up by 1, now up by 2 from the heart of the order, starting to produce here.
2 pitches, 2 doubles, and a run. A 2-run lead as Matt Kemp comes up. 1 for 3 tonight. Dave Roberts directing traffic on something. Any idea what that was?
I have no idea.
First one from Oswalt to Kemp. Drops in for a strike.
First pitch that has been taken this inning. The Dodgers have been attacking those first pitches. Second in the National League at hitting first pitches since the All-Star game at .411.
2-1. To the backstop, and it kicks into the on-deck circle. Machado not stopping at third. The throw won't get him. He just kept on running, and the lead keeps on growing.
To even think about scoring from second base on a ball that gets away behind home plate, you've got to run the first portion of it. And right about here, when that ball caroms over, Manny just accelerates into third base, sees that it hasn't been picked up yet, and times it perfectly that he can make it. Awkward slide. Don't get hurt, number 8.
2-1 on Kemp. He fouls it off. 2-2. Dodgers hadn't scored more than 3 runs in a game in a week. They've got 7 tonight. Nathan Lucero saying the same thing to him, huh?
Yeah, we got to get you some sliding practice. He probably thought he was going to slide the whole way coming around the corner, and then all of a sudden he got there and go, I'm not going to need to slide. And he got in between. Okay, break it. Maybe, no, you're kind of stuck.
It's like when you're walking down the street, walking at somebody, you go left and they go the same way, and then you both change. Yep. Kemp takes the walk. Up comes David Freese. Top tier play of the game brought to you by Arco. His first home run as a Dodger.
He just flicked it over the fence. Out in front a little bit, but boy, that was a nice long swing and powerful to boot.
Kemp comes out. Dave Roberts sends Tim LoCastro into the game as a pinch runner. Scored the winning run on Sunday in this role. Strike one. There goes the Castro. Plawecki's throw won't get him.
Castro, known for his speed, does a nice job sliding to the outside part of the base, grabbing on with the hands and making sure you hold on.
Oh, 2 to Freese. Poked down the right field line. Fair ball into the corner. Third double of the inning. Third run of the inning. Dodgers 8, Mets 4.
Three right-handed hitters using the right side of the diamond. Couple to the right center gap and now down the right field line. David Freese has reached base in his last 3 at-bats. Sandwiched in between the home run and the double was a hit by pitch, but he'll take it.
Well, Castro didn't spend much time in the bases, stealing second, scoring on Freese's double. And they've scored 8 unanswered in this one. Here comes Kike Hernandez.
Fielder number 14, Kike Hernandez.
Oswalt pours in a strike, still looking for his first out of this inning. It's 1-1. On the corner, 1-2.
Kike sitting on 19 home runs. Matt Kemp sitting on 19 home runs. Jock Peterson sitting on 19 home runs. I wouldn't mind they get one more out of the way soon, all three of them, so it doesn't become an issue, something they try for as we get closer and closer to the end of the season. It's a significant landmark to get to 20 home runs in a big league season. You've mentioned in the past that I look for that when I was active as a pitcher, because I do know how emotional that gets for hitters, and it can affect the way you pitch them.
Especially, and he's only human, for a guy like Kike, who has never hit 20 before. His 19 are career high. Previous career high was 11. Strokes a base hit into center. That brings home Freeze. 4 on the bank in the 7th, and still nobody out.
He's done a nice job as he has progressed as a hitter to keep the bat in the hitting area longer and longer. Hard hit percentage, line drive percentage going up.
Well, for Oswalt, he throws 16 pitches, walks a batter, gives up 4 hits, and at least 4 runs. Back into the bullpen.
The Padres during the final series at home. The first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a Manny Machado bobblehead presented by State Farm. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Jacob Rame, whose name you may recognize, former Dodger farmhand, traded to the Mets for Curtis Granderson last August. Still nobody out here in the 7th. As Chris Taylor flies one to right. Jay Bruce won't get to it. And the line keeps on moving. Second hit of the night for Taylor. And here comes Bellinger.
Hitting for the Dodgers, the 35, Bellinger.
6 batters in this inning, 3 doubles, 2 singles, and a walk. And what was a 5-4 game with the Mets stranded the tying run at third. The top of this inning is now into a blowout. And that's okay. There haven't been any of these lately.
none that you could breathe during the game.
Bellinger brings rain on the first pitch here. Caught by Smith. Yeah, with men at the corners and one out, Grandal comes up. Yeah, I mean, just read through the scores of the last 6 games. 3-1, 3-1, 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, 4-2. Not a whole lot of easy breathing in there.
And this one was 5-4 till moments ago.
1-0. .435 tomorrow. Jin Ryu for the Dodgers against Zach Wheeler, one of the hardest throwers in the National League for New York. One and two.
It's a nice inning, especially when the other 2 contenders have already posted W's. You look at the scoreboard and you say, looks like we're going to keep pace.
If they can hang on, it'd be their 9th win out of their last 11 games. Two-two. Grandal corks one towards the corner, off the wall. Batting practice here in the 7th. This will score 2 more. Taylor all the way around from first. 11-4.
The hits just keep on coming, but the base running is something not to be overlooked. Kike Hernandez, some outstanding base running. Manny Machado scoring on a wild pitch from second base. And now here, Chris Taylor taking off on this one and cutting the bases so well. It was Monty Grandal's first hit in AB of the game. Chris Taylor busting it no matter what the score is to plate another run.
Dodgers now 4 for their last 5 in this game with men in scoring position. That's as many hits over the last 5 at-bats in those situations as they had in their prior 6 games. Dozier grounds into a double play that finishes the inning, but not before they plate 6. studio for a preview of Access Sportsnet Dodgers.
All right, thanks, Joe. Crazy to think this game was 4-0 Mets at one point. Dodgers bats have really come alive.
Always great to see home runs, doubles by the offense. Great show.
Dodgers need this one to keep pace with the first place Colorado Rockies. We'll see you soon.
All right, guys, here's Zach Rosscup. Second night in a row he's pitched.
They're just looking for routine outs right now. No excitement on the other side. Let the Mets just lay down and not get back into this one.
All right, a lot going on. Toll's in the game in center. Verdu going right. Freeze goes from first to third. Bellinger's now at first. And now, geez, come on. Come on, David, go back there. It's already difficult enough. Hernandez at short. All kinds of defensive changes. As Conforto gets ready to lead off. Heart of the Mets order. Strike throwing machine. Zach Rosscup gets strike one. That's now 13 consecutive strikes. Back to the beginning of the immaculate inning.
You got me hanging on every pitch now. It's 11-4 in the eighth, and he's thrown 14 strikes in a row over the course of 3 outings.
Yeah. And if this is a ball, it'll be all our fault.
You're so right.
We're fired.
It's over. It's been nice working with you.
Very good round, partner.
Atta baby. Krajewski, do not smile. It's you too.
Still 1-2.
The only person that can't get fired is the booth boss.
Yeah, you can't fire a person whose name is booth boss. They're the one
doing the firing of us.
Yeah. Got him swinging. Sprinkled a ball in there, but ultimately a strikeout for Rosscup.
The slider has got a nice second gear to it. Good finish.
Little Friends theme song there from Dieter Rule.
Thank you, Dieter.
Todd Frazier 2 for 3 tonight. A little bit inside, 1-0. One. Two balls and 2 strikes.
Those things, they've got to have some batteries in there somewhere. That's as blue can be.
Very, very clean and shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Got to buy him. 2 out. Battery powered blue.
Right fielder number 19.
Sounds like one of the old crayon colors you'd get in a box of like 98 crayons where they just run out of stuff to call them. So you'd have colors like macaroni and cheese and battery powered blue. Jay Bruce with 2 gone in an 11-4 game here in the 8th. Opposite field line drive into left center. Tolles races over to cut it off, holding Bruce to a single.
Catcher number 26, Kevin Plawecki.
Plawecki. One and 0. One and 1. Three balls, 1 strike on Kevin Plawecki.
Ross Cup has lost the range here a little bit. Hitter knows fastballs coming in 11-4 to game. 3-1 count. Don't want to walk them. Strength against strength.
Got the corner. 3-2. Hard but foul. Only 2 players for the Dodgers right now playing the same position that they started the game playing. Taylor in left and Dozier at second. That time of year. Couldn't lay off. Roskopf gets 3 Ks in the 8th inning. The Dodgers lead it by a bunch. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by El Pollo Loco. Try one of El Pollo Loco's new $5 craveable combos served with chips and a drink today. Jacob Rames back out there with the Dodgers in front 11-4. And Andrew Tolles to lead the inning off. Strike one.
Big at bats for Andrew Tolles, for Alex Verdugo, who's on deck. Trying to leave a good impression. Maybe earn some more at bats. It's interesting to see the guys come off the Dodger bench that have big league experience. They're not just September call-ups for, hey, you had a good minor league year. And the guys that the Mets are bringing in from the bullpen are making their major league debut.
Yeah, it is. It's quite a stark comparison in depth. 2-2 on Tolles.
I mean, throughout the year when the Dodgers have struggled at times, talk radio is filled with, you know, where's Andrew Tolles? Where's Alex Verdugo? Where's this guy? Where's that guy? And it's all the guys that the Dodger fans here in LA have already come to know and enjoyed what they've done up here for the big league team. The roster is so thick with talent.
Right fielder number 61.
Tolles down on strikes. Here comes Alex Verdugo. Every opportunity he's been given. Does it look good?
He's very comfortable in the batter's box. No matter who's pitching, no matter what the situation is. His heartbeat really kind of matches Justin Turner's as far as the heartbeat you see in the batter's box.
Grounded to second. McNeil gets him.
This next guy's got some experience.
26.
Chase Utley. You know, the Dodger bench has a chance to be one of its really great strengths if they can get to October. Ball one. Josh Fields getting ready to make his first appearance in the majors since June. One on Utley.
It's 11-4, and Chase is still looking for a way to get on. Leaning out over the plate, taking a read on the pitch. If it happens to clip me, huh? That's the way it goes.
Final few weeks of his wonderful major league career. At least the regular season part of it. Obviously be part of the conversation for a postseason roster if they're able to make it. What a career it's been. What a legacy he's going to leave.
And who knows how long he'll leave it before all of a sudden he's back in the game.
Yeah, one role or another.
He's going to have multiple job offers within hours of the season being over for the Dodgers. But he has said he's going to dedicate himself to being a dad for a while.
Good take. Full count. Son Benjamin is 6. His son Max is 3. They're getting old enough where they're asking him why he's got to go to work every day. That's really tugging at him.
And over the years, when Chase goes to work, he has gone to work. And it's not just about his career, it's about the whole team. It's about picking up signs. It's about trying to steal pitches from pitchers. When you watch their video, what are they doing with their glove? All kinds of stuff that he does to make himself better and make everyone around him better.
Earns the walk. Keeps things alive for David Freese, who's got a double and a homer tonight.
I wonder if Justin Turner would consider wearing the pad that David Freese has on his left hand. As much as we flinch, Justin gets pitched up and in. It's like David's used to that same treatment of having fastballs run up and in on him. A little pad on the back of that left hand. Protect it from those up and in fastballs, those check swings where you're moving your hand into the ball.
1-2.
Jacob Rames has been up and down with the Mets. This is his 10th time with the club.
He gets Freese swinging and sends this game to the 9th with the Dodgers in front 11-4. Well, both Colorado and Arizona winners tonight. Rockies their 4th in a row. Arizona snapping a 4-game losing streak. And so the Dodgers trying to keep pace with those two teams and 3 outs away from doing just that. Joe Davis, Or Hershiser, Alana Rizzo, and Josh Fields with his return to a big league mound. First time since June.
Been gone a long time with that right shoulder inflammation. To get it out of there and then to get back into pitching shape, I'm sure he's very excited to be back out there. And right before he went on the DL, he was one of the hotter relievers on the team. 21 relief appearances before he went on the DL. He had an ERA under 2.
Josh facing Brandon Nimmo, who hits it hard. A leadoff single. Another reminder, 4:35 first pitch tomorrow. Zach Wheeler for the Mets, Hyun-Jin Ryu for the Dodgers. Sherman Fields can wrap this up here. That'll be the series rubber match. Dodgers will be looking for their 10th out of their last 12 games. Fields to Dom Smith with a strike. He swung himself out of his helmet.
With the 11-4 game and the crowd is kind of thinned out, you might hear his friends and family even louder this at bat.
23-year-old mentioned earlier from South Central LA and went to J. Sarah High School. 11th overall pick out of there in 2013. Fields brings him in 0-2, climbs the ladder to stroke a base hit into center. Jack Reinheimer now. Mentioned last night, won a state championship alongside Alex Wood in high school. Marjorie Kell High School. One and 0.
Josh Fields has been gone for 54 games, but he's just not up here to get some work. He and a lot of other guys are going to not only help the Dodgers down the stretch to win the National League West, but he's going to want to try and be on the playoff roster too and play a significant part. First part of the equation is to get there, but the second part of the equation for a lot of these players is going to be the competition to get on that roster if you make it to the playoffs.
There's a strike, 3-1. Strike 2. A long time ago, the Mets led this game 4-0. Pair of 2-run home runs against Rich Hill in the second and in the third. First Bruce got him, then Conforto did, but the Dodgers getting 2 in the third, 3 in the fourth, and 6 in the seventh. A payoff and a walk. Saw Pat Venditti was warming. They won't let Josh Fields' first outing back from the DL go too long.
Venditti is ready. Dave Roberts having Rick Honeycutt check one more time. It also might mean to get somebody else up too.
He's not going to wait. Two singles and a walk, greeting Fields back to the bigs. And Dave Roberts will call on Venditti. With the Dodgers up 7, but the Mets have loaded the bases with nobody out.
One thing you get with Pat Venditti is he's going to come after you with strikes. And of course, we know he can throw with either hand. And that was a tough walk that Josh Fields just made from the mound in Dodger Stadium. Bases loaded, no out. Been away for so long, rehabbing. That is not what he imagined his first outing would be like. The big fella's getting warm now. They had to get somebody up once you brought Pat in, because you cannot let this game spiral out of control. Bases loaded, no out. You could trade outs for runs and everything would be fine, but if all of a sudden the hits start falling in again, you've got to stop the bleeding.
Venditti will face Jeff McNeil. Dodgers 11 runs on 13 hits in this game. The Mets 4 runs on 11 hits. He gets strike one. McNeil, the guy with the weird bat. Started using it in the minors a couple years ago. A hitting coordinator introduced it to him and a few of his teammates. He just liked how it felt, the balanced feel that it gives him. And he says any traditional bat that he picks up now feels really heavy to him. One on one. 3 balls and a strike.
Threw a couple of borderline breaking balls, didn't get either call. This inning's interesting enough. The Dodgers need an out badly.
There you go. Infield fly rule in effect. Dozier's got it. Mercifully, they get the first out.
Got back in the strike zone, got the pop up. Exhale a little bit.
Jose Reyes had to get his other helmet because Venditti switched hands.
Pitcher number 7, Jose Reyes.
Switch hitter will go up there batting left-handed. Bases loaded, 1 gone, 9th inning. Behind a 6-run 7th. The Dodgers still with some breathing room here. Ball and a strike. That one Frisbee's under his bat, 1-2.
It just didn't arrive. It was spinning and spinning and spinning, and great arm action to have the change of speeds.
And turns it up to 87, and it looks like 97 to Reyes.
Outstanding job by Venditti to get the pop up in a 3-1 count and to really put Reyes away in a hurry.
And so it's up to Conforto. Dodgers dropping the series opener 4-2 last night on Brennan Nimmo's 9th inning home run against Kenta Maeda. The Dodgers bouncing back in a big way. Their best offensive game in a while. Generous strike on Conforto. High fly ball to right field that sends Verdugo back. He's got room, and the Dodgers have evened the series at a game apiece and stayed within a half game of first.
They keep pace, and the offense breaks out. First time in 7 games they've got more than 3 runs.
Player of the game brought to you by Lexus. The newest Dodger, David Freese, hits his first home run with the team. He also doubles, drives in a couple of runs, scores twice, and plays some good defense at first as well. Dodgers have won 9 of 11. They'll try to win the series tomorrow. Be trying behind Hyun-Jin Ryu. They'll face off with the Mets' Zach Wheeler. So all 3 teams in the heart of the race win tonight. First the Rockies, then the D-backs, then the Dodgers. And everybody remains within a game and a half. For all Hershiser, Alana Rizzo, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. Stay tuned. Access Sportsnet Dodgers begins now.